please go to your hotel and get some sleep. It's the Albert Hotel down the street. I'll meet you here, near this underpass, tomorrow morning. In the meantime, is there anything I can do for you? No problem. I just saw Max enter Square Park. I suppose you've been talking to him about Borowitz's affair. Did he help you any?
What are you talking about? Who's Max?
Max is a local pharmacist, a phony doctor. He was asking about you and about your relationship with Mr. Borowitz. Don't worry, I didn't say anything.
Why is he taking an unusually keen interest in this case, and in me? He must have heard that I was at the Beaumont Hotel, asking questions about the Borowitz case.
You could find out. He's always looking for helpers with good judgment. It could be just the thing for you.
I've heard you're looking for a volunteer.
Correct. Although it's more a test subject than a helper, if you're okay with that. I need someone to try to solve my riddle. It's not that hard, and I hope you'll find it entertaining. Excellent, you've made it. You did a good job. Here's your reward of $10. And now, please excuse me.
I don't want your reward. Tell me, Max, why are you so interested in the Borowitz case?
Now that's very interesting. You've got an analytical mind, so we could discuss it.
I'd love to.
And I'm delighted to hear you say so. You know, detective work is a hobby of mine. But this isn't the place for such a conversation. You must pay a visit to my pharmacy in the suburbs near the East Harbor. It wasn't difficult. That imprint of yours belongs to a pretty unique boot. Not a lot of people still wear those. In fact, one shoemaker told me that he sold a matching pair last month.
Do we have the name of that customer?
No, but it was a home delivery. The customer lives on this street, across from a tailor's shop.
I should pay a visit to that house. Nobody's opening the door. I'd better ask around. By any chance, do you know who lives behind those doors?
Oh, yes. Splitsi Jones. It's just a nickname. Nobody knows his real name. You know, I deliver him meals for Miss Broussard every Friday evening.
Anything peculiar about him? The way he acts or talks?
No. Nothing except he scares easily. He keeps his doors locked night and day, and when you knock, he won't let you in until he peers through the crack to identify you.
Interesting. I'd like to get a look at him. Say, the next time you're going in there, why don't you look around? You could let the door open and...
No way! He's always behind it.
Looky here now. Just let me stay behind you when you take him his supper, and I'll give you a quarter.
Oh, sure.
He's not opening.
That's strange.
Has he ever missed his Friday supper before?
No, he's been living here almost 3 months now and he's never missed a meal. He always tells me how important routine is to him.
Do you have any new tasks for me? Okay, I'll do my best. Oh, I almost forgot. I've arranged for you to meet with the pathologist. He may have some inside knowledge. I mean, information about the last victims. He'll be waiting for you in Square Park.
Thank you. I'm sorry to be impolite, but I'm supposed to meet a pathologist here, and I know you're an undertaker, so perhaps you could help me.
Yes, it's me. I'm an undertaker and a pathologist. You know, my hobby and my profession.
Remarkable. I read your report, and if I may ask, you believe the same person killed both Borowitz and Archer, the first victim?
Absolutely. The technique used in both murders was the same, and the same weapon was used in both killings.
Premeditated?
The celestial message as to whom was chosen by the Lord to sweep them with the broomstick of destruction. Who knows?
Ah, who indeed? But back to the facts. I assume you weren't surprised by what happened that night.
I am never surprised at the mysterious workings of the Almighty.
All right, that'll be all. Thank you for your time. Lastly, this is pretty much it for the day's agenda, so I should go back to the hotel and get some sleep.
I was looking for you. It's just incredible all that's going on here.
Why? Do you know something that I don't?
I sure do. I found out that the dockyard janitor has an airtight alibi. He was being held in jail at the time of the second murder. He had been arrested for drunkenness and disorderly conduct. So the police must know for sure that he can't be the killer. They must be certain about that.
That's odd. I should really pay him a visit to get his version of the story.
It shouldn't be very complicated. He's being held at the police station, just a few steps from your hotel. And one more thing. You'll have to devise a plan to get in. If I were you, ma'am, I'd pretend to be a family member. Relatives are usually allowed to visit inmates.
I came to see the dockyard janitor that you arrested recently. He's my cousin.
Are you sure we're both talking about the same person?
He's a very distant cousin of mine.
Yep, I can see. However, I'm afraid I can't let you in. Lockdown means that no visitors are allowed except in extraordinary circumstances.
Over here! Can anybody hear me?
Psst, be quiet. I'm coming to meet you.
Is it you? Please get me out of here, and I'll tell you everything.
I quite honestly feel that you should...
You know how I feel? I feel like someone drowning in a river because he can't drag himself up the bank. And instead of giving me a hand, you point out that the other bank is much better to crawl out on. You know, I visited friends that night. When I returned at about midnight, I made a lot of noise. I'm really sorry for that, but I'm sure I saw something. After a while, I came out again on the jetty and looked round very carefully because I couldn't understand what had happened.
Did you find something?
Oh, yes, but I won't give you any more information until you get me out of here.
All right, then. I'll set you free, but not just yet. We'll need a fake bail release document for you first.
This place isn't very well secured. Could you get me a pin? That should do the trick.
I think it's unnecessary to tell you not to leave, so wait for me here, please. I came to see the dockyard janitor.
Are you?
He's...
Yep, I can see. However, I'm afraid I can't let you in. Lockdown means that no visitors are allowed except in extraordinary circumstances.
A tailor. This seems like the perfect place to buy a pin for the janitor. Unfortunately, it's closed.
May I help you? Actually, he was around a lot, but I haven't seen him lately. May I help you? This isn't exactly a gentleman's accessory, but from time to time it comes in handy, so I always keep a few of them.
Extra, extra, read all about it. The butcher strikes again.
Oh, you mean Mr. Hanson. He's a cycling enthusiast. He's a real gentleman. Very distinguished.
That's very thoughtful of you. Thank you, ma'am.
Have you found me a pin?
Hey, reach out a little bit and catch it.
I'm so glad you helped me out of that dump.
There are too many cops all around here. We wouldn't get very far.
Of course. I could hide in the building over there. It's an old powder mill, and no one has been there for many years. Please come pick me up after dark, ma'am. I'll show you the place where I hid the evidence.
There's no time to talk now. I'll come get you tonight. We're going to pick up the janitor. Take that fancy carriage of yours and follow me. But please, calm your horses. You mustn't attract any attention.
Well, I'm sure that a carriage in a pedestrian street is noticeable, but I suppose we've got no other choice.
The janitor will come in. We'll draw the window blinds and nobody will see him. Besides, everyone will presume that a wealthy merchant is passing through city center.
Please go ahead. I'll prepare our ride and catch up with you later. He's not here.
But why would the janitor risk leaving before dusk?